let's continue and see how we can push here. So there, yeah, it's a game very similar to this. I don't know it. I've not played it. There's a bunch of Slytherin games that I have not played. I know that. Okay, Wipers. Wipers, Eeps, however you want to pronounce it. Both are correct. Okay, yeah, we're going to... Okay, that would be expensive if we don't take care. Let's recon it. Just want to straighten this line up here a little bit. I'm worried about these somewhat exposed units. And they'll need reinforcing next turn. Oh yes, slings were a significant thing. Bows, especially if you look at when slings were actually commonly used, which is, my understanding, much more the ancient world, not like the Middle Ages or Dark Ages. Okay, 10 shells. So let's fire at least 2 here. Bows were sort of a high-tech instrument that took a fair amount to build, where okay, you can come in and enrich. That was sort of the key to what I wanted to do there. Okay, so now we have a straight line running along here. That's what that was sort of the goal that I have. Where slings could be a poor man's weapon, could be weapons that did not take a lot to build. Okay, that tank unit. Can we just ignore the tank unit? No, I think I'm going to. Okay, I remember reading Anabasis, March of the 10,000, whatever you want to call it, by Xenophon, and the Greeks that were trapped behind lines were mostly hoplites or oblites, or however you want to pronounce it, and they may kill this unit attacking, but that's okay. I hope it is. Oh, actually, that worked out pretty good. Okay. And they needed to make slings and gather ammunition for them to balance out their forces. So it was something that was a significant need to do. Okay. How best to take both of these units out here? Ooh, that's just down 1 strength. And so I gathered from that a lot of the, you know, hoplite frontline men knew how to use slings, so it was a commonly used weapon, and it was quite effective. It was something that they, damn, okay, didn't take that one unit out. Okay, well, nope, we didn't do that. We didn't do that. Bigger the railway guns be used semi-strategically to after supply dumps and such, and for counter battery fire using their range to keep themselves safe. Very good to know. The bullets were just as deadly as arrows. Yes, they were very deadly. The Paris guns, there was more than one, are a bit of an oddity, and they're only accurate on a scale to hit, yes, city-sized targets. Not sure if as deadly, totally true. I have a bow, a compound. Yeah, I wouldn't go as deadly. Okay, here's the thing. A sling stone can be very deadly. If you're going against an unarmored opponent, the sling stone is very deadly. Maybe not as deadly, but very deadly against it. If you have some sort of hardish armor, often backed up with, you know, some sort of cloth backing, you know, multi-layer thick, that is probably more likely to spread out. And I'm not even, I'm thinking like a lot of the sort of, because the ancient Greeks used a lot of quilted armor, but they also used armor as in strips, if I'm not mistaken, as well as, you know, breastplates. If you could, you know, more spread out that impact of that stone over that armor, which isn't going to pierce it, it's probably going to be less deadly than an arrow that would pierce it. And I don't know the, because you get into compound bows and crossbows, Van Bishop, I don't know the classical era bows, just how strong they were compared to a modern compound bow, you know, how much energy force behind them, as well as, you know, the famous longbows, which part of what they were famous for was just simply their piercing ability more than common bows. So you find like at Cressy or Agincourt, where the English longbowmen are wreaking havoc with armored knight, that normal bowman wouldn't be quite doing as deadly work with them, kind of thing. Range matters for sling stones more than it does bows, I guess. Yes, stones. Yep. Okay, gotta concentrate here though, even though you guys are trying to distract me into talking about other fun parts of history. Okay. We're outrunning our artillery, so we need to move our artillery up. We haven't outrun this gun yet. Okay. I'm going to save if I still have some recon for some of these other ones that are. Not quite what I wanted done, but big thing was they got to. Hello, Sun Temple Radio. How you doing? We're going to avoid this tank unit here. I'm just going to let it sit there and push up once I get able to move into position here. So you only have 2 points, and we won't be entrenched, but it's all artillery, but it's weak. We'll risk it. We'll risk it. We'll risk it. Keep moving up. Keep moving up. Keep moving up. Yeah, well, I saw that was all artillery around them. I hope they'll survive without being entrenched and advancing like that. Now down here, we want to get this guy up forward soon. We want to we need to take these hexes here to continue to supply. So that's the main attack, but this just is too easy to pass up. Okay, those guys have struck, these guys have not. We've got to take that, so. Where are the tanks of the German Imperial? Still in factories. Well, we have 2 K-Wagons units here. They only built 2 K-Wagons completed, my understanding was, which were both destroyed before the Allies could get their hands on them. And the rest were in parts. They were normally the A7Vs at this time and very limited, but we do have 2 tank units here. Let's fly there, just sort of recon as well as seeing what we can mess with the enemy. Okay, now okay, well, I know I reconned that, but I'm changing my mind. We're going after this unit. Because we'll be able to move up to there. They have their full movement points. They're going to come in and entrench. Yes, that looks good, and that will also allow us to get that up. Okay, these guys, full movement points. Okay, yeah, and they will be able to entrench their weaker horse unit, but hey, if they're entrenched, I'd rather have them there. We can reinforce. Good. They've flown. So we really have to take the rail link here and or here to cut off. Again, is sort of the goal there. Now down here, let's see, we've got them cut off. Now what we need to do is secure this better. Let's look at supplies. They very well may try to break out. Supposed to break in, but that would just weaken their forces inside the trap. We really don't want them to do that. food job. Exploit. Oh, damn. Oh, got him to push back at least. Didn't kill it, though. Which is a shame. Not really often had barrel issues, so commanders would be reluctant to fire at non-military targets. Interesting. I can see various things from just simple barrel erosion from firing and other sorts of problems. Okay, well. I'm going to move you back up this way. You're going to come into there. Okay, we're going to... Yeah, you're at good morale. You're at not good morale, so we're going to swap you out. We're going to swap you out again. So they get back into where there's supplies. I don't want to be right next to the Fort of Verdun. Well, we will. Oh, let's undo that for the moment. Can we push into there effectively? How many rounds? 6. We'll move up there. Well, yeah, at certain battlefields and sieges like Verdun and whatnot, there were round-the-clock shellings for days and weeks at a time. But as far as I know, in most cases, it wasn't like that most of the time. And within a certain range of the actual front, yeah, all civilians basically move out of the area. I mean, it's sort of, let's just simply say something like 1 or 2 hexes, depending on the size, probably more like 1 hex along the front. Most of the civilians move out. A lot of the cities, at least from the photos I've seen of the cities that are like near the front, that get shelled and bombed a lot, it really looks very, very little, if any, civilian inhabitants stay there. But cities, back a little ways, yeah, there were definite civilians still living in them. So, like, maybe Nancy would be still populated in this case, but whatever, this Point Almoson or something might, if it's taken a lot of shelling, might be mostly evacuated from civilian situations. And part of the limitation for shelling is simply literal production of shells. How many can you produce? Part of it is a limitation on barrel erosion. Oh, you're not doing well at all. Okay. Well, I guess we will, get that a little bit, because barrel erosion is a very real thing when it comes to guns. And so, the idea of 24/7 shooting, for a while. Oh, some Italians have shown up. Okay, we'll fire a couple of shells at these guys. Or shell there. Do we want to shoot down here? No. Let's just kill that. And so a lot of the time, along a lot of the front, there was a lot of miminal activity, raiding parties, wire cutting parties would go out at night and try to cut through the wire. Also at night would come out wire stringing parties. So imagine this, pitch black darkness, because you light a match, anything out there, sort of the no man's land area, will show just general position, and then the enemy will put fire onto it, whether that means mortars, other light artillery pieces, machine gun fire, rifle fire, throw hand grenades or whatever if it's close enough. They had various, you've probably seen them, sort of like crossbow-like things that, sort of field improvised with springs or whatever, to just throw a hand grenade further than a man could throw it. I don't know how much further, but just, sort of do it out like that, to sort of like, oh, somebody struck a match or whatever out there, or they heard a noise, especially hearing a noise, and you could throw some grenades because that doesn't give away your position where firing does. And so you're out there pitch black at night. And if anybody also, if they wanted to, could shoot up a flare gun, and put a illumination flare up. And so you're out there pitch black at night trying to be as silent as possible, stringing wire out there, putting in posts, putting wire there, tapping nails in quietly, doing all that stuff in pitch black. That must have been a hell of a thing. And now, yeah, at some point, the rough terrain, if they put up a flare and it sort of looks sort of bright, you could probably hit get down and crawl to shell holes and work your way back. So it isn't like a insta death thing if they realize you're out there and decide to do something, but it is going to be a few real seconds of problem if they do see it. But the whole time you're working, you're terrified if that will happen at any second, because it happens once in a while. So that would just be a lot of that kind of stuff. All's Quiet on the Western Front. Yes, that's sort of at the end of the movie, and then he dies, basically at the end of the war. And I think I've seen all of the sound versions of it in English. One with the guy who played John Boy on the Waltons. I forget his name. The color version that he did, the earlier one with Lou Ayres. That's probably the best one, the black and white one with Lou Ayres. Though the other one does have Ernest Borgnine in as the sergeant on it. So those are at least the two that I can think of. All's Quiet on the Western Front. Recommend them both. Very much so. And between those movies, other reading, some other movies, I'm sure, including, actually, I think fairly good, I mean, it's somewhat dramatized, is the Young Indiana Jones Chronicles, the sort of movies for TV or whatever they did. They cover Indy's time in World War I in the Belgian Army. So I think a fairly decent look at what this is Sun Temple Radio. This is the Blue Max mod that is almost official, not quite, is supported to a degree. Actually, one of the devs helped me out because the update broke the mod. Just had to remove one file, and I think they're going to fix it really quickly. But and you can see the last page on the thread for the mod on the forum will have the instructions on how to at least temporary fix it by just removing one file from the thing, and it works. So it's very workable now because obviously I'm using it. But and that's the fix is how to get that fix is there. Okay, just got to watch the time because I know there's a stream coming up right after me. Oh, I forget what it is right offhand. Oh boy, I even looked it up. I forget. Sorry, I forget what stream's coming up. So you guys might want to catch that. Okay, yeah, that's a good hit to do. Yeah, I figured that might be a me. Oh, Shadow Empire. That's right, DOS Tactic. Yes, and I presume you're going to be streaming it. I didn't see who was streaming it, but yes. I'll probably watch a little of it myself, though I do have some other stuff I'm going to have to get to shortly after my stream. Yeah. So don't worry, I am watching the clock. I'll be within a minute or so on time of ending it. Or when there's nothing after it, I don't feel bad or wrong by going over time a little bit. Okay, that's good. Now let's look at purchasing. Do we have any replacements that we need to do? No, not really. Airships, yeah, we could use one more as a reconnaissance, like. Bring in more reserve divisions. Thing has brought me back to Total War Troy and its female slingers labeled sirens. Some things you cannot unsee. Well, I don't know Total War Troy. I know the Total War General series, you know, like Rome, Rome 2, and others, but yeah. Yeah. I get a little miffed at some of the unhistorical stuff that modern gaming does. But at least so far, you know, if we're talking sci-fi and fantasy, that's sci-fi and fantasy and, you know, whatnot. And like Fantasy General 2 does a great job. And I'm perfectly willing to suspend disbelief on certain issues and things. But when we're talking historical games, I'm so glad that at least most everything I've seen out of Slytherin is sticking to the historical types of stuff. Okay, so I think we're going to end this turn here. And Belgian morale falls due to the loss of Wipers. British morale falls due to the loss of Wipers. I say it that way because that's the way the British said it at the German morale boost. By the capture of Wipers, hungry German soldiers plunders Wipers looking for food. German infantry develops level warfare 3. And we have rain. Well, they're moving what to keep the path open. Yeah, you're not doing him any help there, Aerie. Supposed to forget about those terrible, terrible things. Yeah, they may just kill this division that I moved up here without entrenching. Don't think they're going to kill my tanks, though. It's possible, but I don't think so. Theoretically, they could kill that unit just with enough artillery rounds. But I guess fortunately it's raining, so they don't have any air to attack me with. They sure like bombarding that one hex, because it's... I guess because it's down on the point there. But they never seem to really follow it up with infantry assaults. Which I'm glad of, but just an observation. Here it comes. Here it comes. Oh, maybe. No, they got that unit, damn. Probably need to fall back even more. Oh, yeah, they needed to fall back more than they did, yes. That's clearly now clear to me, even me, now at this point. And that shattered. Okay, well. We've got units to continue to fill into the gap here. But a lot of them are back up on this shoulder that I don't know how fast we'll be able to get around. I have been also dividing my westward thrust to the northern and southern flanks of that, which I'm sure is weakening this northern one a bit. Okay, so we lost 3 divisions. Spotting a British division over there that would be getting ready to come across the channel. Okay. Reserve division. Okay, well, since we need units in this area. Now, it's not good to first deploy it right onto the front line if you can, so, but here I don't think will be a problem. Let's save. No. I won't save it, not quit. Okay, let's see what we can do here. I think we're going to put pressure on the inside here first. Just go ahead. Ypres Ypres mustard gas. I did not know that. From the Allies, you can't be tried for war crimes when you win the war. Well, mustard gas was not a war crime back then. It was only after the war that they made chemical weapons a no-no. That would be the better first shot. Take that out. Okay, that's good. Now here. Maybe not. Now I've noticed that they just got some detachments holding there. Now here. Okay, we have 2 rounds. And they have okay, their morale is 65, their morale is 86. We want to use a full strength division. Not a attachment. Damn. Well, maybe not so damn. We'll lose 2 units, which may allow them to break out. We'll take the risk. And shatter. Very good. Now what we will see about doing here is moving you this way. And you can come into here. There we go. They've retreated back. They can get fully reinforced. Okay, like we found here, we needed to withdraw. Yeah, let's go all the way back to there. They can entrench, so we'll entrench. They can't. These guys will come back to there. Okay, and again, what's important here is to tie up their units, not so much to take a particular bit of terrain. Because here and up here are our main thrusts. Okay, well, our tank units survived just fine. They've entrenched and they're good enough that they are now a problem, but okay, 4 shells there. Now let's quickly look here. They are going to get reinforced just because I don't want to keep getting those 2 attrition down. Okay, the rest looks strong enough. To operate. Gonna get tried. No plans to at this time. Okay, good. The recon bombers actually did some direct damage. Let's bomb here. Partially as a reconnaissance operation. Do we want to save up more? Yeah, no, we can't move. We've learned our lesson. Need supplies. Well, let's do at least 2 rounds. Hey, thanks for following. Do appreciate that. And if you like, you can follow me as well on Twitch, which is gamer_1745. And either there, or you can just search for that on YouTube and find my YouTube channel here, which I will be continuing this game after this there. We'll be posting videos there. Okay, let's just do it right. Let's just fully commit here. Bombard this out. I reckon most tank units, early detachments might be worth hitting hard. Yeah, that's a detachment here. Through these are division. So those are divisions. That's a detachment. I want to take this position more than I want to take that position. So let's see what we can do here. Well, that got that. Very good. Okay. Oh, they can't move there. They can't entrench, which I didn't think they would be able to, but hope they would. Well, since we can, we'll reinforce them. And well, they get a max reinforce, of course. Okay, so that's keeping the supply. Again, we can see it here. The supply line owned by us to keep pushing forward there. Now up here, this guy has survived. What we're going to do here is swap him out and then entrench. Oh, I think that's probably the best path for entrenchment. We'll do that. You can save up shells. Okay, looks like we're out of time and we need to let DOS Tactic get on with his stream of Shadow Empire, a new game coming out, and I'm sure you all will at least want to check it out to see if it's your type of game. So thanks everyone. I will be streaming, premiering the new DLC element for Panzer Corps tomorrow, Friday, on this channel. So you'll see me again tomorrow. I hope you all join me for that as well. Thanks everyone.